week, Dr. Stonebeck was with you to kick off our series, Living Your Faith, Body, Mind, and Spirit. Obviously, he was doing the body part. How was it?
Great.
I heard nothing but wonderful things, and I did watch the video, so yeah. So we're on to mind this week. You ready?
Yes.
All right. Well, as you know, unity is grounded in what we call practical Christianity. It's only called practical because we get to practice it. And it's one of the things that sets us apart from some of our other New Thought cousins. Well, not so much the New Thought cousins, but the other denominations. And that is, we do focus on the practical. We focus on how on earth do we put this universal wisdom to work in our life.
Yes.
Right here, right now, today. Of course, I would recommend starting with a study of the 5 basic unity principles, but we won't go there today. But of course, the one power and the one presence that we refer to all the time is also something that Dr. Beck spoke about. It's the innate intelligence that is in our cells, that is in our body. And you know, for me, I love to call it our DNA, divine nature activated, of course. He was talking my language. He just didn't know that I called it that until I told him, and of course, he laughed. But every cell of our being has intelligence, and every cell of our being is connected to the source. We are plugged in to the power strip. Sometimes the power strip gets turned off, our doing. Have you ever done that by accident?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the cat. We can always blame it on the cat because the cat gets behind the TV cabinet and steps on the switch, disconnecting our connection. We have 4 cats. So everything gets blamed on one of them. But it doesn't matter what you call that source, whether it's God, spirit, universal life, truth, intelligence, it's all the same. But the key is when we apply this truth to our body, we have the ability to live in alignment with perfect health. You were made perfect and whole and complete from the get-go.
Thank you, God.
Amen. And when you live in alignment with this truth in your mind, we have the ability to live in alignment with the one mind, the divine mind, the intelligence of the universe. We have the opportunity to recognize and to understand and utilize the power of our mind. So our body and brain are made up of cells with intelligence. You've got millions of them. How can you ever call yourself stupid? I don't know. Who here has done that? Come on, be truthful. Yeah, I'm with you. So, each of us are created with the cells that are connected to the source of all life, of all healing, of all creativity. That's the God energy that Dr. Beth talked about. He also said that the brain and the mind is our direct connection. It's the outlet that's plugged in. And if we don't feel connected, there is interference. Interference. Whether that interference is a subluxation in our spine, reducing the energy flow through our nervous system, or if that interference is a negative thought, interfering with the positive flow of God energy that moves through us, that we're aware of in our mind, that interference of a negative thought can cause the dis-ease of more negative thinking, procrastination, a bad attitude. Who here's been told they have a bad attitude? Okay. I'm with you too. So, that interference can cause us a dis-ease of mind, and it also causes a separation. It causes a separation from our oneness with God. with our oneness with divine energy. We call this a lack. I have a lack of God today. Not. But anyway, this separation is ultimately always our choice. Oh, busted big time. There she goes again. Yeah. We are the ones that step into the consciousness of separation instead of standing in our wholeness, our truth, our oneness. We usually do that because we're avoiding something. Have you ever avoided something? Has it done you any good? Isn't it just like right there in front of your face anyway? We try to avoid something because it feels uncomfortable. Can't hide from that. We choose to focus on whatever the interference is and not recognizing the clue. You know how I love to be Nancy Drew. The clue of what that interference is telling us. It's pointing to something. Have you ever seen like a statue? There's this one little movie clip in the movie Amelie where this guy is trying to follow the steps to find something, and there's little trails of tape and birdseed and all this along the way, and he's following all of these clues, and he sees this statue, and the statue's pointing. And he's looking at it, and he becomes stuck at this place in his quest because he can't figure out, thank you, Jim, he can't figure out what to do next. He's at the statue. The arrows led only to the statue. Okay, so now we need to stop looking at the finger and look to see what is the finger pointing at. That's the next clue. And of course there was a child in the movie that came up. It's always the wisdom of a child, you know, that says, do it again. Only a fool looks at the finger when not looking at what it's pointing at. So, of course, the wisdom of a child gives us this, because you know that's what they do. What is it pointing to? It's pointing to our interference. It's pointing to tell us the next step is to reconnect, remind ourselves what is our truth. To reconnect, to remind ourselves of our truth. We all know that we're created in the image and likeness of God. Do you ever forget?
Yeah, every day.
Every day. Okay, well, so we'll have to put that on your refrigerator, Jim. In order to assist you in recognizing how powerful your mind is, because it all comes back to the mind. In New Thought, it's all about the mind. We're going to show you some positive and negative thoughts. And these are positive thoughts, and they're very lovely. And then there's negative thoughts, and they become blockages of God energy. And so I want to introduce to you or remind you of the work of Dr. Masaru Emoto. He is a Japanese energy scholar, best known for his study on the human consciousness effect. Get that, human consciousness effect, that's you and me, on the molecular structure of water. And in 2004, he published one of his many books called The Hidden Messages of Water. So let's watch this together. important here. If a thought can do that to water, what can it do to us? 60% of our body is made of water. Thank you, Rob. So 60% of our water is made 60% of our body is made of water. The other 40% is a more denser mass of bone, muscle, and all of the other organs and things that connect us together. But each one of the cells in that other 40% also has the same intelligence that the water does. So 100% of you is got the potential to be shifted by the power of your own mind. If you think about that, and if you think about the times that you've yelled at somebody, the times that you've yelled at yourself, and what the molecular structure of that message did to you on the inside, you know? Also think about what loving affirmations can do when you tell yourself and others those. Yeah, can you feel it? I love myself so much that I just tingle. Say that with me. I love myself so much, I just tingle. Thank you for inspiring me, Jim. So, we are living energy filled with cells of intelligence, and our intelligence and our ignorance is equally as powerful. We can create heaven or hell. And as metaphysicians, we know that heaven is a state of consciousness. We know that metaphysically it is the Christ consciousness, the realm of divine mind, the state of consciousness that is in harmony with God. We also know that metaphysically hell represents a corrective state of mind. When error has reached its limit, when you have had your threshold and you hit the bottom, I won't ask who here has hit the bottom, because we all have. It's the retroactive law that pushes us to change our ways. That's what hell is. It's just a state of consciousness. It's a discipline. It's your body, it's your mind saying, I've had enough. Thanks. Let's make a new choice. That's all. So in living your faith in alignment with mind, we have the opportunity to express heaven or hell, your choice. I'm choosing heaven. Who here is with me choosing heaven? All right, well done. Good choice. We're all in it together. So remember that every cell of your being is intelligent. You have the power to change the molecular structure of your entire being with the power of your mind. It's pretty intense stuff because I have said some nasty things to myself over the past some years. And then I had a new thought. Who here's had a new thought? No pun intended. And then I learned a new way of showing up, of loving myself, of recognizing that I am made in the image and likeness of God. End of story. That I get to choose. So in being aware and in living the wisdom of the mind, it creates for me a life with an open heart. Because I am open to what my mind can do to myself, and I am open to what my mind can do to you. And I want you to have a loving experience while you're here on this planet. And I'm sure you want to have a loving experience while you're here on this planet. So our mind and our brain is the connecting point of all of our neural pathways. It's the highway that goes on in that gray matter. We create new ways of thinking with affirmations and denials. That's what are the Unity's tools to move you out of habitual negative thinking and into habitual positive thinking. And you are building a new roadmap through your brain. Now, you've all been stuck in construction around the city, I'm sure, and you know that building a new road takes some time, and it's messy and dirty, and there's traffic and congestion and orange cones. Imagine all of that in your mind when you're trying to change a habit, trying to stop saying, oh, I'm a loser, okay? It's gonna take time. Allow yourself that time. Allow for roadblocks, allow for orange cones, allow for the men and the women with the flags saying, whoop, wrong turn, go this way. Building a new neural pathway to recognize your oneness with God and recognize the power of your mind takes time. But we are always so thrilled and happy when a new road is complete. There's no traffic. It's just smooth and easy and flows nicely, and it doesn't mess up our tires and our alignment. There is no interference anymore. And so in reminding you about the power of your mind through these images, I invite you to take a closer look at your self-talk. Take a closer look at the people in your circle of influence. And build a new road for yourself. Go to the place you created in your time of meditation, your ideal life. And as we strengthen our neural circuits, every time we think and speak positive, life-affirming thoughts and words, shooting positive affirmations from the hip. Better if I had like real guns, you'd pay more attention. We are short-circuiting our negativity, short-circuiting our negative habits, and we are diffusing the power of those thoughts. Practical Christianity. It's only practical when you practice. And so it comes back to you. Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, said that our job is to prove the truth. So you get to live and express your practical Christianity. We're all doing it together. It's only practical when you practice. And so I invite you to start with the most powerful tool you have, your mind. Use it well. Enjoy the journey. Namaste.